guys, I'm Angela. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about finance degrees and finance jobs. When I was in high school, a lot of the thoughts that I had behind my finance degree were that it's a relatively easy major. The classes don't seem that hard. It's not rocket science. And it seemed like everyone on Wall Street was rich. That was the expectation I went into college thinking, really not knowing anything about the types of jobs out there or what investment banking, private equity, hedge funds really were. Is finance a good career? How much can you make from finance? And will it make you feel happy and fulfilled? Let's talk about the money portion first. You can make a lot working in finance. It depends where in finance you go and how long you stick it out for. However, after taking into account the tax and the cost of living in expensive cities, which is usually where these jobs are, you're really not making as much as it might seem, particularly in your junior years. And what I mean by junior years is generally around the first 5 years of your career where you're an analyst or an associate. And you might be thinking, sure, my life might suck for the first 10 or 15 years, but after that, I can retire and buy my own private island, right? However, I know of 0 people in finance who have actually done this. If you've been working as hard as you have for the past 15, 20 years, and you get to the level of managing director at an investment bank, a partner at a private equity firm, or a really high senior position at a corporation and you have an equity stake, you're not going to stop. This is supposed to be the peak of your career. You work those 15, 20 grueling years just to get to this level. You're not about to retire. And by that point, you've already been used to this lifestyle. Frankly, if you just stop all of that and just stay at home and invest in stocks and get a return every year, you're not going to end up feeling fulfilled and happy. You're going to be really bored. If you really want to be rich, you need to sacrifice and you need to stay in the game. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to continue in finance. That is by far not what I'm saying. But a lot of people have this misconception that you enter into finance, you work hard for 10 years, and then you retired and life is all good. But there is no pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. Everyone's path is different, and it just really depends on what you do and how hard you work. You really have to put in a lot of hard, grueling hours, and that just becomes a lifestyle. So let's talk about how happy you will be. I don't know too many people out there who are just super passionate about their finance job. I mean, I think that's the reality of it. For most jobs, a lot of it is an ends to a means. There are some jobs that you might find more fulfilling than others. For a lot of people, they put up with it simply because once you get to the age of maybe 40 or 50 years old, you have a family, you might have kids as well. And at that point, it might be too risky to completely change your career. A lot of people get into it because of the prestige and the money behind it, but you also have to think about it from other perspectives as well. Think about it from your work-life perspective. Think about it as well from a social aspect. You'll be spending a lot of your younger years working really hard, and it builds a great work ethic, but a lot of people really do ignore the social aspect of making friends and spending time with your loved ones that can often get neglected because you're working so much. If you're doing a finance major, there are a lot of different jobs available for you, many of which pay very well, especially for junior positions compared to other jobs, but you just need to realize that it involves a lot of hard work and sacrifice. So what are some possible career paths in finance and what do they look like? First, let's talk about corporate finance. In corporate finance, there is generally an FP&A team, that's the finance, planning, and analysis team, and they're the team that does the projections for the company as well as prepare their financial statements. And in a lot of larger companies, they'll generally also have a corporate development section. This is the more external part of the company. They will handle any mergers and acquisitions that the company does, any spin-offs, any partnerships, and they will be the ones doing the modeling and talking to investors. Next, there are also investment banks. And again, there are a couple of things that fit under this umbrella. There's the investment banking division, there's asset management, there's sales and trading, and sometimes there's also wealth management. I'm not going to go too in depth on what each of those are. In investment banking, you'll generally work the most grueling hours, but you'll also be paid better as a result. In sales and trading, you might be working better hours since you're working market hours, but there's also more risk as you continue to rise up the ranks. Next, there's private equity. It's a very common exit opportunity because you're told that you'll work better hours and you'll have higher pay and it'll be more meaningful work. It's true that there's less grunt work in general in private equity, but the number of hours you work really depends on the firm that you go to. It can very well be the same or worse than in investment banking. And yes, at the partner level in private equity, which is a very senior level, you do make more than managing directors in investment banking. But again, not a lot of people get up to the partner level. And if you don't love building models, valuing companies, doing due diligence, you are not going to like private equity either. And next, there are hedge funds. Hedge funds also take analysts directly from undergraduate. As for hedge funds, the lifestyle really depends on which hedge fund you work for. There is also more risk involved in hedge funds simply because they have a lot more risk of actually collapsing as a company. The pay is also much more variable than compared to investment banking or private equity. And lastly, management consulting. Pay is usually a bit less than all the other jobs that I just mentioned, and there's a lot of traveling involved. So it might be fun when you're young, but when you're older and you're more settled down, it might not be something that you want to do. To sum it all up, there are a lot of career paths in finance. The ones that I mentioned are generally the ones that I know of that are more popular, and there are a lot of opportunities to have stable jobs at a very entry-level position, and so I do recommend doing a finance degree. I think that it is well worth the money because of the long-term return of staying in finance and all of the opportunities it opens up. It allows you to be in a lot of front office positions and learn more technical things like valuation. And a lot of these roles also allow you to get to meet very C-level people and get to really build up your network and connections. Simply, I just want to talk about if you're looking to get into any of these fields that I just mentioned, which I know a lot of you guys are, try checking out Financial Edge. They also offer really good career-focused packs for you to learn. There's one for asset management, sales and trading, investment banking. I personally have been through the investment banking one and I thought it was beyond helpful. Take a look at the website. I'll have it in the description box below. And if you do decide to purchase a module, they have free ones as well. But if you do decide to purchase one, use my code Angela25 to get 25% off that course. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. As always, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Remember to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you'll know whenever I post a new video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!